All right, so we finished our 2023 FRC scouting app tutorial. The last thing we had to do is just figure out how to share it with the scouters, the drivers, the coaches on our team. So let's go ahead and go to user access here on the left. And you'll notice that there's only one person a part of the user access right now, and that's me. I created the application, so I can use everything. But how do we add a new user? Well, let's click Add New User and put in the email of the person who's going to be using the system. So example@reallifedata.net. Once you put that in, click Done. And now you can give them access to one or both of two things. They can either view the data, so see our graphs, tables, our dashboards, or they can input data. So they can put data in using the application that we made in the input forms section. Now, most of the time, you're going to give somebody both of those permissions, but depending on what works for your team, maybe you want the scouters only to be able to input data, and maybe you want the coaches only to be able to view data. Whatever works for you. So once you've shared it with them, how do they get access? Well, I'm here on my phone, and I've gone to the Real Life Data website. And once you're here on your phone, you can click the menu up at the top here. And once the open beta goes live, you can click Go to Viewer or Go to Input, and it'll take you to your phone's app store, where then you can download the Viewer app or the Input app for Real Life Data. Now, I already have them downloaded, so let's say you've shared your stuff with one of the scouters on your team. They've downloaded the Input app. How do they use it? Well, just go to the Input app on your phone, and it will load up all of the stuff that has been shared with you or that you have created yourself. So here it is, it's loading, it's saving all the data so that way you don't have to reload it every time you open the app. And I'll go to My Projects, since this is something I worked on. You'll notice I have a bunch of projects I've worked on, as well as many that have been shared with me. I'm going to go to My Projects and click on the scouting input form that we created. And just like that, the scouting input form is here and it's working. I can do all the stuff that we were doing on preview earlier, and I can even do, put in a year, 2023, put in a state, Texas, and then it will load up the competitions for me. There you go. So now we have a working app. We know that we can share it with someone and they can actually get it on their phone and start using it and even submit data. So that's really cool. We've got our scouters in the stands figured out, but how do your coaches, how do your drivers and your strategy team, how do they see this information? Well, if they've downloaded the Viewer app from the website, like I just showed a minute ago, they can go to the Viewer app on their phone, and just like with the input, it'll load all the ones that have been shared with you, as well as all the ones that you've created. So this overview dashboard is the one that we've created. If you ever have trouble finding which one is the one you want to get to, maybe you have too many projects, you can click this button at the top, and it'll help organize by project. And you'll see Team Scouting app, and I can click Overview Dashboard. Then it will load up on your phone. Even though we made this dashboard specifically for laptops, it also loads on a phone, and I can pretty easily go ahead and click a number and start looking at a team's stats. So that's really all good, but we made this dashboard for a laptop. So let me show you how someone could get access to this on a laptop as well. All right. So now you have shared with somebody, you've given them view access. What they'll do is they'll go back to the Real Life Data website and they'll click on Viewer. Once they've clicked on Viewer, just like with everything else, it will load up all the stuff that's been shared with you as well as all the stuff that you've created. So I'll go back to my project. We'll see Overview Dashboard is the one right there. I'll go ahead and click on it, and here we go. It looks just like it did on the phone, but clearly fit a little bit better to work for our laptop. And I can start selecting team numbers right now and start looking at all their stats. So there we go. We've done everything. We've created an input form that allows our scouters in the stands to put in data. We've done calculations that let us get crazy statistics and metadata on the data from our game. And then we even made dashboards, tables, and graphs that allow us to easily and quickly at a glance figure out the state of the competition, and start making strategies based on robots' stats. The only thing left to do now is to go scout. Good luck.